Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil, Laird.
Robert Duell.
And we are here to discuss another horror documentary that's available for you guys on Shudder right now. It is called Smoke and Mirrors, The Story of Tom Savini. So it is an entire 2-hour documentary focused entirely on the horror master, Tom Savini. And we are going to talk about this, and starting like we normally start our reviews with our overall thoughts, I'm going to say, while I enjoyed the movie, while I did enjoy a lot of the behind-the-scenes stories, I felt it was a little lackluster when compared to some of the other documentaries I've watched recently. I just watched In Search of Darkness, the 4.5-hour definitive 80s horror documentary. I've watched a few other things as well, a little bit more of Never Sleep Again, and this was good. Even Cursed Films, the documentary series, you know, I did enjoy that. So I don't know what it was, but I watched this in a few sittings, and I didn't find myself as eager to go back each time as I was with other ones. I do love Tom Savini very much, and I don't know what it was. It took me about 3 sittings to watch it, and I did ultimately really enjoy the movie, but I didn't want to sit and just knock it all out all at once. I don't know what that says. I don't know if maybe it's too much information and I want to process it sometimes, or if I just was like, okay, I just need to take a little break from Tom for a little while. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but I did overall enjoy the documentary. How about you?
No, actually, I think I actually enjoyed it a lot more than what Cecil did.
Okay.
I've been a huge fan of Savini since I was a kid. Like, my first movie that I watched from him was From Dusk Till Dawn and whatnot, and like I just fell in love with his makeup and everything from there. And then I found out he did the makeup for Friday the 13th and all this other stuff. I'm just like, holy crap, this guy's amazing. I enjoyed everything from just even the tidbits we had from his backstory from the army and everything.
You know what I think it was? I think it's the fact that we got so much of his backstory.
Really?
And it took so long to get to the movie stuff.
Really?
I think that might be what it was. And in retrospect, like, it's the story of Tom Savini. It's right there in the title.
Yeah.
It's not like the story of Tom Savini's filmmaking career. It's the story of Tom Savini. So I think I was giving it a little bit of short shrift when I shouldn't have. Maybe because that was engaging. And he did... Here's the other thing. I think his detachment from some of his early family stuff didn't help me to get attached to it. Do you know what I mean? When he can't talk emotionally about it,
I can see that.
Because he doesn't, I don't get emotionally wrapped up in it.
Yeah, I can see that and everything.
Is that I don't mean to be weird or reductive.
He briefly touches on it and everything, but you can even tell he doesn't want to talk about it. He's still uncomfortable.
Because he lost a brother at a young age.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't really remember, so I don't really talk about it. And it's like, okay, so I don't really... Okay, moving on.
You know, there was the hardship and everything. Like, he definitely had loss in his life.
So I think he downplayed his early stuff so much, except for his mother. Yeah. He really upplayed how much his mother meant to him and what a difference she made in his life.
Well, even his father.
Same for me. Well, that's true, too.
His father and everything, because he even said he was a big influence and everything. He was always there behind him, encouraging him in his makeup and whatever he did. Like, no matter, because he was originally, can't remember what his father did, but he was thinking he was going to follow in his father's footsteps. Right. But when he found out what he was doing after with the plays, and then he got into the art department for him and saw it, like, he was just right behind him, his son, the whole time. So definitely, those are 2 big driving forces that I can see where he's talking about. But also, I can definitely see why he wouldn't want to talk about things with his ex-wife, his brother, and things like that. So,
but to me, like, that's what ingratiates me to a lot of people. Another one that we reviewed recently was To Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder documentary. And he gets emotional at one point, telling his story of how he got burned and why. And another thing that happened, and like it brought me more into his world as opposed to this. I felt like because he had this wall up, I just automatically had the wall up and I couldn't get into it as much. And so I was just sitting there waiting for the movie stuff. So I mean, that's the easiest way I can explain it. It might not be fair, but it's how the documentary was structured, and it's how it made me feel watching it.
Yeah,
So.
because I guess you probably more expecting the whole makeup history and everything. Of how
And we got that. And once we got to that, I was like, boom, I was in.
I think, because you were expecting that for the entirety instead of an actual backstory of his childhood and his military career and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the military stuff was actually kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. The duck.
Yeah, the
duck killer.
Yeah. Yeah, right. The duck slayer or whatever.
Yeah, the duck slayer. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting. So again, I gotta walk it back a little bit. I was interested in some of the stories that he had, but again, I think it was ultimately his emotional guardedness that prevented me from being pulled in.
I can see that and everything.
However, again, that's just the first third of the documentary, and then the rest is all movie stuff, which I absolutely loved. I love behind the scenes stories. We get a little bit about Fluffy from Creepshow. We get a little bit about The Burning. We get a little bit about a lot of the different things that he did and how he got started. Like, that all was supremely interesting to me.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree, especially with the behind the scenes of between his school and everything, and the creature creations and everything. How he even met George Romero, because originally they were supposed to be doing a film. I think he was supposed to be doing Night of the Living Dead, or there was a movie beforehand that never got made.
Yeah,
and everything, because he was still in film school or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. But
that's another story he told. Again, a story from earlier when he was a kid and he became the Dracula in the troupe.
Yeah, because he showed up at the theater one night all dressed up. And
he saw them, and he saw that they pulled the Dracula out of the crowd, and the kid was really timid and everything. And so he's like, I'm going to come back prepared. And he came fully done up, and they pulled him out of the crowd, and he scared the kids in the front row. And he's like, that was the first time I remember scaring people.
Yeah, and
like that kind of shit is super interesting. That's great.
And then that too. Also, he brought up that was his big thing into even just acting as well, because he was basically able to they're focused over here, come up from here, and that's where he got that big scare from. Yeah, and thus
misdirection.
Misdirection and everything, and then he got cast into that, and basically it was history.
And how he got into From Dusk Till Dawn even. Yeah. How he's like, I want to do this, and it was supposed to be Fred the Hammer Williamson that was going to be Sex Machine.
Yep, right? And he sent in actually a tape and whatnot, but because he even talks about this in the documentary, he didn't have time to remember the lines for Sex Machines, so he basically around the room he was putting different cue cards of the various lines, so it was actually making him look like he was.
In his audition.
In his audition tape and everything, that he was playing through those scenes, and it worked out
and it looked like he was talking to the different people.
Exactly.
But he's actually just reading the lines.
Yeah, because he didn't have the lines memorized and everything, and then, boom, he got cast as Sex Machine. He also, same with Greg Nicotero, who's also in the movie. Both were working on the special effects for it, which were great.
I feel like it might have been a little... I feel like this... I guess maybe I feel a little shortchanged, too, because there's enough that I think we could have gotten a 4+ hour Tom Savini documentary.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, diving into each one of his movies. Like, God, if they could do, the story of Tom Savini Part 2, Smoke and Mirrors 2, where he just breaks down all of his movies that he's worked on, God, that would be so amazing.
That would be really cool, yeah.
So we got a taste of it in this, and that's the stuff that I really glommed onto. But obviously, some of his stories from when he's younger stuck with me, too. So, again, my initial overall thoughts might have been a little bit... short shrifty when as I'm talking about it, I'm like, no, I really did like this. So
now you go back, you're starting to think about it and everything.
Like and the fact that he talks about why he never left Philadelphia is because of his family. He had a daughter out there,
and I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, because he's like, I had a chance to go make movies, big movies, but I didn't want to leave my daughter. He's
and
like,
the whole I wasn't even leaving her, but the whole relocation,
right,
and everything, because it would have been a whole world upturn for her and everything, a whole new school, friends, everything.
And they even interview her. They're like, and she's like, my dad definitely put his life on hold for me. Like.
Yep, he's a family man. He's a badass to boot.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, it's a great documentary.
It really is. Like
I gave it.
So he now has a new opinion.
Look, sometimes it takes us talking through things for it's happened with Fuego, where he's started off not liking a movie, and as we've talked through it, he's like, nah. Now that we've talked about it, I kind of like it more. Same thing here. So,
if you guys haven't watched this, go on Shudder and everything, because I believe this is a Shudder exclusive, correct?
Right now, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So right now, if you guys haven't hit up Shudder and everything, go check those out.
There's tons of great stuff on Shudder.
And they're adding more.
Dude.
It's great.
If you even do it for just a month, watch this, watch Cursed Films, watch Dead Wax for sure, because we loved Dead Wax. And
watch that one.
oh, dude,
I'll have to watch that one.
it's so good. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, and it's all definitely worth your time. So I think that's gonna do it for this review.
Pretty much, yeah.
So if you guys enjoyed this, click the like button in the
Description box below.
No, you don't like in the description box.
Or, well, you know,
click the like
that's where
button and
we're at.
subscribe. And while you're in the description box down there, check out the Patreon link. Yeah, it's getting tired already. That's going to do it, you guys. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Robert Duell.
And remember, stay scared.